fighting chance. Down 2 points, 6 seconds to go. This is Duda Machado. The intentional free throw miss. Gets the rebound, goes out, hits the game-winning three with 8 people in the stands.
We saw a Colombian league this happened, now a Brazilian league. I like the strategy in South America. Don't do the soft miss off the rim. Fire that sucker off
Let's
the rim.
go back to the top. No one's there watching it, but them guys did some dumb stuff. Block out the shooter.
Oh yeah, they messed that up. They messed it up.
2 teams who couldn't compete in that Brazilian league, Suns and Mavericks. Daniel House throwing down the hammer.
Cece, your favorite West Coast team, the Phoenix Suns, making the show for the 3rd time this week. Daniel House making the show for the 2nd time in a week.
In Phoenix, that's where people go to retire, Jenna. No allergies, no sneezing out there in Arizona. God bless you. Man, Phoenix, they need to send us a residual something. I mean, we're making their highlight tape.
Every night. Every night. Moving on to the Rockets and Lakers. Chris Paul showcasing the handles, toying with Ivica Zubac. Watch this.
Is this the NBA?
5-hole finishes with the layup. Rockets get their 65th win of the year.
The Lakers should just fine him for that. Putting the Lakers jersey on, having somebody go between your legs. Is this the Lakers versus the Harlem Globetrotters? Man, they playing like the
Zubac has made butt first 4 times this year. Never once for a good thing.
No.
Never once, because it's like, oh,
that's
look
a
at
high
this
average for games played.
Oh, this is so good.
Hornets, Pacers, Lance Stevenson bit the big block on Dwight Howard, but he forgets the play is still going on behind him. Classic Lance.
Lance was trying to blow in his ear right there. That's the reason why he was like the LeBron thing. He was trying to blow.
Oh, I mean, that is a perfect encapsulation of Lance's career. An amazingly athletic play, immediately followed up by as bonehead of a move as you can make. I mean, so good, Lance. I love it. New York City legend, CeCe.
Oh, we could use him in the league tonight.
Oh, CeCe's playing for a championship tonight. More on that later as the story develops.
If you're Jimmy Garoppolo, you're sort of living the good life, right? You finally got out from under Tom Brady's thumb in New England. You went undefeated as a starter. Oh, and you signed a contract for $137 million. Just for perspective, I got my kids bunk beds and thought it was a good week.
It was a good week. You had a 7-year-old living in a crib, Jenna.
3. She's 3 years old, guys. She just turned 3. Despite going 5-0 as a starter, 49ers legend Joe Montana thinks the expectations are just a wee bit high for Jimmy G. Montana said, quote, it's still a little early to call Jimmy G the savior for the 49ers. CeCe, does Montana have a point there?
Joe Montana, that's my boy now. Joe he's not easy on the compliments. You don't go to Joe Montana and be like, hey, Joe, what do you think about this player? He'd be like, Joe will actually give you a very good opinion, and Joe is not relinquishing who can be the greatest. I remember having a conversation this summer with the Crafts in the trip to Israel. Tom Brady was on the phone. I asked him, man, Joe, who's the greatest quarterback ever? Now, Tom was on the phone. He was talking to Tom. He addressed Tom and everything. Man, Tom's had a great career. Man, they hung that phone up. Joe was like, listen, bro, ain't nobody better than Joe Montana.
No, he did not.
Ain't nobody better than Joe Montana. So that's my guy. Steve Young replaced Joe Montana. Now we're at Jimmy Garoppolo, and you guys think Joe Montana's going to be impressed with Jimmy G? No, let's just slow down a little bit. Let's think about the history of San Francisco. It happens to be pretty deep. Like, let's just slow up a little bit. Yeah, he's a good player, but we haven't seen enough of him. And that should be the consensus with Jimmy G. He looks good. They gave him a big contract, but typically it's about expectations. When you put the expectations too high, that's where Jimmy G is going to fail people. He is the franchise quarterback. He is the quarterback of that organization to move forward. Now, how good he's going to be, no one knows that. And unlike Joe, I'm not going to go out there on the limb and be like, oh, I knew this beforehand. Right. I'm going to wait and see the cookies to see how good the cookies are before I take them out.
And that's why I just want everyone a little bit to pump the brakes on the expectations for the Niners. There's a reason they were 1-10 to start the year last year. And I understand they won 5 straight, and now all of a sudden they've got, I think, the 9th best Super Bowl odds of any team. Let's all calm down. Like, if Jimmy G this year, at the end of the year, finishes with a passer rating in the top 15, it's wildly successful. Like, he is still, even though he's not young as far as years in the league, he's young as far as starts in the league. He's got less than half a season of starts under his belt.
7 starts total.
Total. Like, the Niners as a team have a lot of holes to fill. And go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, people don't know the 49ers personnel. When they say, oh, Jimmy G, he's going to be great. Okay, who's he going to be throwing
Who's
to?
he throwing to? And who's their best defensive player? Like, who's there? I understand they just drafted Solomon Thomas. They moved down from 2 to 3. They ended up taking him. Like, they have some talent that maybe they'll bring Eric Reed back, who I think is a quality safety in this league. But for the Niners, the expectation should be get to 500. For Jimmy G, the expectation should be better than half the quarterbacks in the league. And then we can start talking about, is he potentially a Pro Bowler? Are the Niners potentially a playoff team? So I don't blame Joe Montana for saying it's not Montana to Young to Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. But you know how this works. Here's a team that played terribly last year. There was nothing for these fans to root for. There was no optimism. The ceiling was the basement. There was Then you bring a guy in who goes 5-0 just by showing up, basically, and all of a sudden here's the heir apparent to Tom Brady, and this guy's going to come save us, and he's going to be the next big thing. And
that's so good looking.
And what is our history? We had Joe Montana, then we had Steve Young. We must be doing something.
That's why
right.
they posed the question. That's why Nick and I are here to throw a cold glass of water on you. Just wake up.
So good looking. What about the good looking?
No, but Jim,
that don't win you games.
Right, Jenna, you're absolutely right. That is exactly what San Francisco 49er fans should be thinking. And luckily, in San Francisco right now, it's 4:54 a.m., so they're probably not watching this right now.
Great.
So, like, but the reality is, if you're going to look at this from any type of unbiased standpoint, again, 8 wins would be a huge success. It would be skipping a step in the process when they were 1-10 to start last season. And you also want to look at the teams, by the way, in that 5-game winning streak who they beat, like Chicago.
Yeah.
Houston didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
The Rams who weren't playing anybody that week. So there's a lot of things there, and the personnel.
And don't forget about your division. At best, you're the 3rd best team.
Sure.
All right? The only team you're better than right now is Arizona.
That you're
on paper.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, you are not better than Seattle, and the Rams, they got something coming for you. All right? How they going to protect Jimmy G against Aaron Donald? How they going to protect Ndamukong Suh? He ain't stopped nobody in a while.
Right.
Look like someone with a San Francisco helmet going to be on there.
Stop it. Cece will never get over the stopping.
The dude stomped someone.
It was years ago, man. He's turned over. I can't even say with a great face.
Also good looking.
Right.
Coming up, it's the Rockets season. Already a success. Mike D'Antoni thinks so. Next on First Things First.
Tony, say that in your head.
Not so